As we dive into the second session of our advocacy series, think back to the issue or topic that you thought about in the first session. Maybe it was your family farm, or maybe it's something you've got to do with school or within your community. For this segment, we're going to use FFA as the idea for our issue that we care about, but you can choose to apply this to any issue in your life. To start, let's take 90 seconds and capture down everything we know about FFA. They don't have to be complete thoughts, but try to put as much as possible down on your paper, captured in the notes section on your phone, or whatever you have handy. Pause this video and set a timer to complete this task, and then come back to the video. Take a look at the thoughts that came to mind immediately, in less than 2 minutes. When it comes to FFA, it's easy to think of things to put on paper. We have career and leadership development events of all kinds, supervised agricultural experiences, and awards you can earn, like a state degree or a proficiency award. Members earn scholarships and attend conferences like the State Green Hand Leadership Conference, the State Leadership Conference for Chapter Leaders, the Washington Leadership Conference, and the Ag Policy Experience Conference, and more. It includes a 3-component model, which includes classroom education, supervised agricultural experiences, and leadership development through FFA. We have chapter, regional, state, and national officers. We do community service, prepare for careers, explore colleges. When you know a lot about FFA, these words are enough to have meaning. But what if you were explaining them to someone new? Would they be able to understand FFA enough to care about it? Enough to act in its best interest? If advocacy includes helping others understand, we need to realize that simple, consistent key messages are part of getting that done. When we know something well, we can tend to forget to focus on the most important parts. Most advocacy conversations are limited in time. Most advocacy conversations are also followed up on by somebody else's scheduled appointment that is also very important. So we need to take time to understand the most important things about our issue and boil them down to just a few simple points. Look back at your list from earlier. If you had to explain why FFA or your other chosen issue is deserving of support to someone who doesn't know it like you do, what are 1 to 3 key messages that you would say? Pause the video and take 3 minutes to review your list from earlier and boil it down to 1 to 3 of the most important facts or points. Then start the video again. Key messages are the most important facts about your issue or organization. It seems obvious, but many people go into advocacy conversations without taking time to make sure they can communicate the basic facts and build their message around it. Key messages help us lead with the most important details and return to them over and over. They're memorable and meaningful to the representatives we tell them to and remind them why or what they can do to help us. In FFA, there are many possible key messages, but let's focus on 3 of them that can help you accomplish almost any goal. First, FFA builds a future for agriculture. Second, FFA strengthens agricultural education. And finally, FFA grows leaders. These messages are super simple, but simple is the point. It keeps us focused on a core message that someone else needs to understand in order to understand who we are. Now, they aren't presented quite that simply. We bring them to life with an easily understood amount of detail. For example, FFA builds a future for agriculture by preparing future employees and future consumers through positive personal experiences. FFA strengthens education by providing hands-on opportunities for students to discover how classroom instruction is relevant. FFA grows leaders for all communities and all career areas with local, state, and national experiences. Key messages are fundamentally true, core benefits of your issue. They will never not be important, but they may not always be mentioned in every conversation. Great advocates will choose which key message or messages they want to focus on in their limited time. These messages add validity to any actions you're asking someone to take on your behalf. Earlier, I mentioned the issue we are focusing on with this video is FFA, but we also talked about recognizing there is action we're focused on. This year, MNFFA is proud to charter new FFA chapters. That means that several communities throughout our state have been working to create a chapter where one hasn't been before. In those circumstances, those students and parents were trying to accomplish the action of starting an agricultural program so they could have an FFA chapter. Depending who they spoke with, they may have focused on different FFA key messages. If they were working with the school board, they probably focused on how FFA strengthens education. If they were trying to get local agricultural businesses to help financially support their new chapter, they might have focused on how FFA and agricultural education contributes to agriculture. Taking time to understand the clear, simple, and universally true key messages about the issues we care most about helps us to succeed in gaining support and nudging others to action. Taking time to understand what the people we are talking to care about most helps us choose the right key message for the moment. As we finish our second advocacy session, identify which key messages are the most connected to the audience for your issue. How is that key message related to the action you need your audience to take? If you aren't sure, talk with a classmate or your teacher about how to connect the most important truths about your issue with the person you're talking to and the action you want them to take. We'll see you next time to learn about how to add value to your message with evidence and telling your story.